Yeah, look, not what I really like to see from the start of the week. And really, I'm a little bit, I won't say uncomfortable, but just out of the zone at the moment for this week commencing the last week, if you like, of May. Beware the May. It's not a historically great month to trade. However, I belie that, and so far so good this month. Look, I'm going to start with this one, Euro Swissy, and of course the much maligned Euro Swissy. If we cast our minds back to 2015, 1st of January, I think it was, as a matter of fact, what a dreadful time for some people, I'd have to say. However, this is not the case right now, and I see what really does look like a bull flag here, which to my mind means that at some stage we're going to bounce long here, trading the range, and that all works for me. I'm on a weekly chart, of course, and that doesn't mean that we need to go long straight away. In fact, I've got this very, very pronounced key reversal bar. Not only is it a key reversal bar, it's a massive rejection of the monthly pivot, pardon me, and very, very difficult to ignore. For that reason, I wouldn't certainly want to be trading long at this point. However, that said, as you can see, we are at the bottom of this range. And if that's the bull flag, then I'd be expecting at some stage a bounce to the top side. That's not going to happen anytime soon, in my humble opinion. Maybe we'll get a little bit of retrace and then another attack on the bottom of this range, and maybe this level, this horizontal level through here, around about the 109 mark. So I've got to dig a little bit deeper, and I don't see anything that appeals to me at the moment. But I'll be certainly expecting at some stage to hit the bottom of this range, maybe that level, as I say, and then I'll be looking for a higher low to trade this long back into that range and back towards the top of that descending channel or flag. And then if the bigger picture plays out, then we'll be looking to pick this up and maybe take on these highs here at this pretty pronounced horizontal level right there. So that's where I'm headed with this this Euro Swissy, perhaps up to here at some stage. So looking for a way into that as potentially a bounce, or maybe even a false break off that that bull flag. That's the first thing I see this week. Dollar yen, and I kind of shake when I talk about dollar yen because I find it a very, very difficult prospect. But when I look at this chart, this is telling me, you know, we've got a descending channel here without question. We've been actually following this for some time and trying to trade it off the boundaries, and sometimes it just doesn't work out. In this case, that was pronounced here, if you like. Hard to find that level, but it's probably around there. And rather than bounce off the bottom of the channel, we bounced off, I guess, that horizontal level, broke through the top of the channel and have retested that. Now, it behoves me to say that this does look a potential long trade to me. That said, it's a bit of a mess at the moment, but when I look at boundaries, I look at potential false breaks, and this looks like, very much like a false break, and in particular with this bull bar here that challenged, pardon me, the bears, yet didn't turn into a false break, didn't convert. And when that happens, then I tend to think, well, okay, if that's not going to convert into a false break, something else is happening. And of course, there's murmurs around the place that the dollar is about to rally or has rallied, and you can see that there in that chart. The last 3 months has been dollar bullishness against the yen in particular. So with that break and retest, and of course that monthly rejection bar right there, you're entitled to think that this can go long. And I have to subscribe to that theory, unfortunately, because I'm a massive dollar bear, as probably most of you who are aware of my allegiances actually would know. And therefore, I'm looking for a way to get long here. And again, it's a struggle to find that. What I do see is pardon me, pretty much a double cross, and pardon my voice, of the monthly and weekly pivots here. You can throw in the daily as well if you like. I also see this, and it's a little bit tough to pick up, I suppose, but the close above this trend line here, some would say on, I'm going to say above because it suits me, right? It looks to be above to me. And for that reason, that may well be, and if you go down to the four-hour timeframes, and of course you have to draw a different trend line, this may well be a false break of that area. I'm not committed to that yet. I'd much rather see something better on a daily chart than a 4-hour chart. So I'm not there in terms of being able to trade this just yet. I'd much rather see a clear false break. And maybe that happens by price getting above here and coming back and retesting. Then I can get long. At the moment, it's just a theory. It's not being demonstrated or played out by price action just yet. But I do think there's potential in dollar-yen long here at some stage. Oh, I hate to say it. Going back to ranging pairs, and Aussie Kiwi is one of those. Of course, long-term ranging pair Aussie Kiwi, they tend to follow each other around the track, in particular against the US dollar. At the moment, I'm seeing potential for a long here on Aussie Kiwi, given the little close above this red line, which of course is the range that is most immediate in here. Of course, there's a bigger picture here as well. And we've come off the bottom, haven't reached the top, got a higher low in here, haven't really got a higher high, but that's what we're seeking at the moment. And this candle pattern here does suit me. I like it. I love this little pullback after, if you have a look at the weekly chart, pardon me, I'll get there in a minute. The broken resistance here, which is this trend line, it's also the monthly pivot. If you go down to the daily, you can see that maybe a little clearer. I'm inclined to think that resistance is now broken and the monthly pivot is as well. So I'm thinking long here on Aussie Kiwi. I'm struggling to find an entry at this point, but maybe a little black bar here or a little selling bar here does get me interested. Maybe I'll be a bit late on it, but it looks to me as though this resistance has been broken, and I'll be looking for a retest of that area, the monthly pivot area, pardon me, to get me into a long here. Can I do it already? Yeah, look, the answer is probably not. I can put a trade line through here, of course, and pardon my voice, guys, and I can see the break and retest. I don't want to go long here because of the highs that we'll be trading straight into, but I'll certainly be looking in this area for an entry, maybe off a false break of support on the smaller time frames as we get into Monday and Tuesday. Euro Kiwi is another one. The reason Euro Kiwi is on my watch list is because we're at this very, very strong horizontal level. And I think this break to the high side may well turn out to be false. If it's not, then fine. We probably won't get involved in that. But I'm almost tempted to place a short underneath this bar here. I won't do that, but I'm tempted to do so. I'd rather see price come back into the range and give me a lower high, and then I can look to trade it short back into that range. Frankly, that's where I'm at this time of the week. I can totally see some clear support and resistance areas here. And if we have broken resistance here, then a retest here gets me long, but a re-entry into that range, definitely looking for a lower high and to trade it short. And frankly, at this time of the week, a little bit disappointing in terms of setups, but that is my 2 cents worth.